Friend, have you ever noticed how some men don't chase attention, yet women naturally gravitate toward them? It's not a mystery, it's not even about looks or money. Friend, what makes these men irresistible are the boundaries they set, the quiet lines that show self-respect and strength. Friend, and women can't help but love that. Have you ever wondered why some men seem to effortlessly attract the respect and admiration of women, while others struggle no matter how much they try? Friend, it can be frustrating because often the men who struggle are good people, kind, thoughtful, and giving, yet somehow those qualities alone don't spark lasting attraction. Friend, the truth is that attraction is not built only on kindness or effort. Attraction is deeply rooted in psychology, and it is triggered when a man communicates through his action, his presence, that he values himself. Friend, and one of the clearest ways he communicates that is through the boundaries he sets. Boundaries are often misunderstood. People think of them as rigid walls, as harsh rules, or as signs of arrogance. But in reality, friend, healthy boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about protecting what matters, about creating a framework where respect and attraction can grow. Friend, women love when men live with these boundaries because they send powerful signals. They tell a woman, here is a man who knows who he is. Here is a man who values his time, his emotions, his integrity, friend, and his independence. And that, more than looks, more than wealth, more than smooth words, is what draws women in and keeps them there. Let's start with the first boundary, time. Friend, a man who respects his own time immediately communicates self-respect. Think about the difference between a man who is always available, always waiting, always willing to drop everything at a moment's notice, friend, and a man who has structure, who has purpose, who is selective with how he spends his hours. The first man might seem devoted, but over time what happens is that his presence becomes ordinary, predictable, friend, and less valued. The second man, by protecting his time, creates scarcity. And in psychology, scarcity is powerfully attractive. What is rare is valuable. Friend, women love when a man sets the boundary that his time is important because it makes every moment he chooses to give more meaningful. It's not about playing games, it's about demonstrating that he has a mission. Friend, that he's not living just to please but to fulfill his own goals. That sense of direction makes him magnetic. The second boundary is emotional regulation. Life is full of conflict, misunderstandings, and stress. Friend, what sets a man apart is not whether these things happen, but how he handles them. A man who loses his temper easily, who gets drawn into unnecessary drama, who reacts impulsively, communicates instability. Friend, but a man who sets the boundary that his emotions belong to him, that no one else gets to control how he feels, becomes grounded and secure. Friend, imagine the difference between someone who shouts when things don't go his way and someone who pauses, breathes, and responds with calmness. That calmness is not weakness, it's strength. Psychologically, friend, women are drawn to that because it signals safety. It signals that this is a man who can handle pressure, who won't collapse in difficult moments, who won't become reckless when tested. Friend, emotional self-control is not about being cold, it's about being steady. And steadiness is deeply attractive because it creates trust. The third boundary is respect. Friend, respect is the foundation of all healthy relationships, and yet so many men are afraid to enforce it because they fear losing someone if they push back. But here is the paradox when a man tolerates disrespect. Friend, he doesn't keep attraction, he destroys it. Women love when a man calmly but firmly communicates that he will not accept being spoken to with contempt or treated poorly. Not because he is trying to dominate, friend, but because he honors himself. And when he does this while also giving respect in return, he creates balance. Psychologically, this relates to the principle of reciprocity. We tend to give back what we receive. Friend, if a man sets the standard of respect, it becomes the tone of the relationship. A woman can admire and trust a man who honors himself because it shows courage. It shows he is not desperate to be liked. Friend, he is devoted to being authentic. And authenticity paired with respect is irresistible. The fourth boundary is independence. Many people believe that love means always being together, always doing everything together. Friend, losing yourself in the other person. But true attraction does not thrive in enmeshment. It thrives in space. A man who sets the boundary that he has his own interests, his own friendships, his own need for solitude. Friend communicates individuality. He is not needy, not clinging, not looking to be completed by someone else. He is whole on his own, and he invites a woman to share in his life without losing himself in hers. Friend, this is attractive because it keeps the polarity alive, the subtle sense of separateness that fuels desire. Psychologically, it taps into the principle of autonomy. We are more drawn to what we feel is not fully ours. Friend, what retains some independence. Women love when men set this boundary because it creates breathing room. It allows attraction to grow rather than suffocate. It keeps the relationship alive, dynamic, friend, and full of energy instead of stale and heavy. The fifth boundary is around intimacy. Many men make the mistake of thinking that the faster intimacy happens, the stronger the attraction. Friend, but what actually creates depth is when intimacy is valued. A man who sets the boundary that physical connection is meaningful, that it requires respect, trust, and emotional alignment. Friend communicates depth and self-respect. He's not just chasing validation, not looking to fill a void. He is intentional. Psychologically, this speaks to value assignment. Friend, what we treat as precious becomes precious in the eyes of others. When a man protects intimacy and treats it as more than a casual transaction, he shows a woman that he values himself and that he values her. Friend, that makes the connection more intense, more fulfilling, and more irresistible. Women love this because it creates trust, because it shows her that she is not being objectified, but truly seen. Friend, the sixth boundary is values. At the core of every strong man is a set of principles he refuses to betray. A man without values is like a ship without a compass. He drifts, he adapts to whatever pleases others. Friend, and in doing so, he loses himself. But a man who knows what he stands for and refuses to compromise his integrity for approval radiates confidence. He is trustworthy because he is consistent. Friend, he doesn't change with every opinion. He doesn't sell out his beliefs just to keep someone around. Psychologically, this taps into the principle of trustworthiness. Friend, women are drawn to men who live with integrity because integrity is rare and valuable. A man with values becomes irresistible because he is steady in a world that is often unstable. Friend, he offers not only attraction but safety, not only chemistry but certainty. Now, as we move through these 6 boundaries, time, emotional regulation, respect, independence, intimacy, friend, and values, you may notice a pattern. None of these are about being controlling. None of these are about playing games. They are about self-respect. Friend, they are about the quiet signals a man sends when he knows who he is and what he will accept. Boundaries are not there to push women away. They are there to invite the right women closer. Friend, women love when men live with these boundaries because it tells them this is a man who cannot be manipulated, who cannot be disrespected, who will not lose himself in the process of loving. Friend, he is strong enough to stand on his own, and that strength makes him magnetic. Think of boundaries as the invisible framework of attraction. Without them, relationships fall into chaos, disrespect, and imbalance. Friend, with them, relationships thrive with trust, respect, and passion. A man who sets boundaries doesn't have to shout about his worth. He shows it. Friend, he doesn't have to prove he is irresistible. He becomes irresistible simply by being who he is. And so, when we ask, why do women love when men set these 6 boundaries? The answer is simple. Friend, because boundaries are self-respect made visible. They are strength expressed without arrogance, confidence expressed without words. They are what separate men who are easily forgotten from men who are unforgettable. Friend, women love these boundaries because they don't just create attraction, they create desire that lasts. In conclusion, boundaries are not about saying no to others, they're about saying yes to yourself. Friend, they are about protecting your time, mastering your emotions, demanding respect, keeping your independence, valuing intimacy, and standing firm in your principles. When a man lives by these boundaries, friend, he communicates clarity, integrity, and strength. Women can sense it, they admire it, and they are drawn to it. That is why women love when men do this, because it is not just attractive in the moment. Friend, it is irresistible in the long run. So in the end, what women really love isn't a man who gives up everything to win approval. It's a man who values himself enough to set boundaries, protecting his time, friend, mastering his most demanding respect, keeping independence, valuing intimacy, and standing firm in his principles. These are the signals of strength and authenticity. When a man lives this way, friend, he doesn't need to prove his worth. He becomes irresistible not because he tries harder, but because he embodies the kind of confidence and integrity that women can't ignore.